I'm Lindsay. Thank you for coming and interpreting for me. This is my job interview.
Hi. Thank you for coming in to interview today with Deaf Rehabilitative Services. I'm so happy that you're interested in working for us. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've had experience working with people with disabilities in the past, and I was searching for a job and I saw this one, and I'm really interested in working here. I've also had experience working with people at some deaf camps as well.
Okay, great. And why are you interested in working for our company in particular?
Well, your company specifically interests me because it has deaf group homes, which I prefer to work with deaf people because of course, easier communication. The other group homes I've worked with, they were all hearing individuals, and I had to write notes back and forth. But if I worked here, I could just sign and be a lot easier to communicate.
Yeah, your communication skills will really come in handy in our group home settings. Could you tell me a little bit about your educational background?
Well, I graduated high school in 2000, and then I went to college and studied ASL. Now I'm thinking about getting my master's degree, but I haven't really decided on that.
And do you have experience working with people with multiple disabilities?
Yes, I do. Probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I volunteered at a camp in Minnesota called Courage North. That camp ran from June to August, and they had 1 week specifically for individuals with hemophilia, another week for autism, and then another week they had senior citizens with disabilities come to the camp and stay. So I have had a lot of opportunities working with people with many different disabilities.
Okay. Could you describe to me an experience that you've had either with your best or worst boss?
Well, I have to say that my best boss was definitely great because he was so laid back. He didn't try to micromanage everybody, and as long as they did their job, there wasn't a problem. But my other boss, while I was working at college, the interview went great. He hired me, and I showed up not knowing what to do. He handed me a lot of paperwork, and I hadn't even had my training yet. It was crazy.
Working with our company, you'll have the opportunity to work with our consumers on things like life skills, within the residential program. You'll be able to help the consumers with different life skills, as well as you'll have the opportunity to do some job coaching and helping them with things like interviewing skills and creating resume, and a variety of other opportunities. What aspects of the job interest you the most?
The part that interests me the most is probably living in or working in the residential homes. I think it would be a lot of fun to work with the clients one on one, teach them how to live independently, wash their clothes, and do different activities outside the house instead of just staying inside all day.
place staff members in the residential program 24 hours a day. Are you looking for daytime hours, or are you available for overnights and weekends?
Well, right now I don't have any other obligations. I have a pretty flexible schedule. Probably to start with, I would rather work during the day so that way I have the opportunity to meet the individuals and get to know them. But once I, feel comfortable with the job, I wouldn't mind working nights or weekends.
Okay, great. What would you describe as your major weakness?
My major weakness, I'd have to say, would be perfectionism. If something's not perfect, I'll do it over and over and over until it's just right. Some people can get really sick of me and say, Lindsay, come on, it's good enough, but I won't finish until it's perfect.
I'm a perfectionist too. That's not such a bad weakness to have. Okay, my next question. Could you give me an example of a problem that's popped up in a previous work environment and how you solved it?
Well, one day I was working at another group home, and one of the individuals had forgotten their lunch. Everyone had left the house, and I was the only one there, so I tried to call my boss and contact him, and he didn't answer. And I felt bad, so I went ahead and just drove the lunch to the day program and gave it to him.
My next question. What would you describe as your strengths?
I'd have to say my strength would be organization. I'm really organized. If I have a lot of things to do, I'll create a list and then check them off to make sure I've gotten everything done. I'm always cleaning. If things are a mess, it drives me nuts.
And how would you say others describe you?
Well, if you ask other people about me, they'd probably say that I was motivated, ready to jump in and do anything. I'm ready to try new things. I'm friendly, easy to interact with. It's really hard to upset me. I can put up with a lot and keep working through problems.
Okay. What do you consider to be your best accomplishment in your last job?
Well, my last job, I started working in a group home with an individual, one on one, and I noticed that the other staff didn't really try to get everybody motivated. So I came up with an idea to create a visual chart, and I took it home and I made it and I laminated it and got everything ready. And then I took it back to the group home. I put it on the wall, and uh, the client really seemed to like it. I made sure there were stickers; they could put them on the dates, and we could really see improvement after that. They were excited to do things around the house. My boss saw the one I made for the group home, and he asked if I would make some for the others, and I did, and it's working out great.
That's great. We use a similar system in our group homes as well. Where do you see yourself in 3 years?